hand jobs, and finger banging. If that's the kind of thing you're into or want to be into, stick around, hang out with us. We're going to talk all about it. Welcome to the Road to Happiness podcast, where we apply the wisdom of the Bible and brain science to help you mature into true happiness. We're your hosts, Christian therapists and sex educators, Josh and Cassie Spurlock. The Road to Happiness podcast is made possible thanks to our sponsor, My Counselor Online, the leading provider of Christian counseling online. We all need some help from time to time. So if you find yourself in a tough space, struggling to navigate life's challenges, check out our team of Christian counselors at My Counselor Online. They'll take care of you.
But you didn't hear about finger banging and hand jobs in Sunday school.
Your Sunday school classes would be unhinged. I don't know why you're always talking about Sunday school.
I'm just saying, well, here's the thing. I went to Bible college in undergrad in biblical languages. And as you study the scriptures and study the neuroscience, God's design around the body, and particularly around sexuality, I'm like, my goodness, the messaging that I got in church was so not reflective of the truth of God's heart when it comes to this subject.
Yeah.
And so I envision like a Sunday school curriculum that is unhinged in terms of the traditional way these subjects are approached.
Yeah.
And so I like putting it out there that, hey, this is something we should talk about in church.
Yeah, and it is something we should talk about with our kids at an age level appropriateness. Yes.
Totally. It is God's idea. Sex is God's idea in all of its facets.
Yeah.
Whether we're using our genitals, whether we're using our hands, whether we're using our mouths, whatever it is that we're engaging, this was God's idea. And if anybody ought to be talking about it, it ought to be God's people, speaking God's truth about the subject. But when we don't, the world fills the void with their secular understanding of these things, and it creates distortion.
Yeah.
And so, I'm pretty proud of my God who created sex.
And your fictitious Sunday school curriculum.
And my fictitious Sunday school curriculum that
maybe someday we'll write a Sunday school
God's
curriculum.
Truth around sexuality. So that's why we wrote this.
I want to write a Sunday school curriculum for adults, though.
A small group Bible study around this, feeling sexy. God's thoughts around your sexual confidence, your sexual desire, the rich sexual relationship He wants you to have with your spouse. Like, it's pretty sexy stuff.
It's pretty sexy. And it's always more fun to, first of all, learn things with your friends. Like, talk about things with your friends. Cheer each other on in the journey. It's more effective. It's more fun.
Yeah. So let's talk about getting handsy.
Okay. Let's get handsy.
We're going to get handsy. Not here on camera. That would not be appropriate.
But what about this?
There we go.
I like it.
There you go. You're such a nerd.
I know.
And that. So, using our hands. A lot of resources on sexuality from a Christian standpoint stay pretty high level. They talk about the theology of sex, which is valid and good.
Yeah, important.
I'm a theology nerd. I'm dig good, healthy sexual theology. But it usually ends with, it's sex is good and it's okay to engage it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. But we actually wanted to write something that distilled the 13,000 hours of therapy that I've done, the hundreds of couples that I've worked with and help overcome sexual difficulties, and be super practical in aspects around sexuality. You ought not have to turn to a secular resource to learn how to's engage sexually. So
and we just want to give you some baseline foundational stuff so that you don't have to feel so lost. Like, you can start with a little bit of jump off point rather than feeling like, I need something to do with my hands.
Is that a song?
What?
Did you make that up?
Well, Don't you know that song?
I don't.
Yes, you do. Maybe I should stick them in her pockets. You know, that's probably not the real lyrics because I never really know the real lyrics to any
I
songs.
think you're making that up. And that I don't think it's a real thing.
Can't believe it. I'm going to play it later.
Okay. All right.
He likes country music, guys. I don't know why he doesn't remember that song.
That just doesn't ring a bell.
It's not on our mood music playlist, apparently.
It's not. So just like with the oral sex chapter, the tongues of fire that we covered earlier, and if you missed that episode, jump back. You'll have fun enjoying that one as well. We really come at, pleasure from hands, using your hands and pleasuring, both from a giving and a receiving standpoint.
For sure.
So I feel like, again, a lot of resources just aren't out there on that. Like you might be able to find a how-to guide on Cosmo or something for, how to give a decent hand job. But you're going to have difficulty finding a resource that's going to help talk you through, as a woman, coaching your spouse through pleasuring using fingers.
Yeah.
And
I don't know of any resources.
I don't know of any resources either. But we do now, right? We've created a resource for you on it because it matters, right? That part of really enjoying sex as a woman is being attuned to your own nervous system and being able to pursue and follow your sexual pleasure. It's a moving target.
Yeah.
Like male sexuality is super simple and straightforward. I could use the analogy of a hammer, right? It's a basic tool,
Such a great analogy.
That you can leave it in the rain, you can run over it with a car, like you can beat on it.
Not recommended, but would survive.
And a hammer will still do what it's supposed to do, right? It's very durable, but it's also very simple.
Yeah.
Right? It just has one thing it does, the end. And, male sexuality is a lot like that. God designed female sexuality to be much more nuanced than that. It's more like an iPhone. iPhone, you can do all sorts of cool things with that a hammer can't do, but it's more complex than a hammer.
And it's more gentle.
Yeah, if you run over it with a car, it's not going to work anymore. Like it will do more damage. Like it's just not as, resilient against those sorts of things.
The brakes are stronger. It's more sensitive.
Yeah, for sure. So part of being able to get good use out of a iPhone is you got to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
Right? You got to learn its different features.
You got to learn how to work it.
You got to learn how to work it. That's right. And female sexuality is a lot like that. That you have to be able to attune your own nervous system, explore your sexuality, and to be able to verbalize, communicate verbally and non-verbally what it is that feels good today and in this moment.
Yes.
Because it can change within the same experience.
Well, even in the building of arousal, your body, your clitoris engorge is different. It does different things as you're getting ready to orgasm, and things feel different. Mm-hmm. So you have to be intentional about communicating those things.
Yeah, and it's not like that for males, by and large.
Yeah.
By and large, you do something that feels good and just keep doing it through the end. Through the end. That'll get the job done, right? It's male sexuality.
Yeah.
Not so for female sexuality. What feels good at first, you will need something different later. You need something different later. And so you have to be able to attune. You have to explore your own body. You have to be able to provide feedback and communicate around those things.
Yeah, I think that can feel like if you didn't know that might feel really frustrating. You might feel like, what is wrong with me? Why can't it just be da-da-da-da-da? Why isn't it just so easy? But it's actually really sweet. It's actually God's design for this beautiful, nuanced sexuality. And it's a requirement for the communication, which enriches the relationship. Yeah. If you didn't have to do that communicating, you would have a less rich, intimate relationship.
Yeah, it's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah.
It's part of God's design of how sex brings us closer together, makes us better as humans, brings us more intimacy and connection as a couple, and really leads to really great, fantastic sex, enjoying each other. So, that's why having a section or a chapter on talking you through how to have these conversations with your spouse is so helpful.
Yeah.
And to just be aware of, how to experiment and practice and play together in ways that allow us to learn together and what it is that feels good, what your experience, what's going to enrich the experience for you, and how to be able to guide and lead your spouse into touching and engaging in ways that feel good. If you don't do that, the experience is going to be suboptimal.
Suboptimal at best.
Yeah, it's going to be
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, and it's impossible to know because, maybe your husband engages in one way and one experience and it feels really great. And he's like, I've got the formula.
Woo!
I've
Figured
it out.
Yeah.
Like, this went really well. And then he's just going to go to his toolbox and pull out what worked last time. And it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
And he's going to be really confused because he thought he had the map. He thought he had the algorithm hacked and how to make it work. And it's not working out. Now he's like, back to the drawing board. I don't know what to do. This is frustrating. And
if you don't take responsibility as the woman for owning that and knowing yourself and leaning into your own experience, it can be so frustrating. It can be unfairly frustrating for your spouse. Like, he doesn't know, he can't know. We have to own that. We have to communicate that. We have to share that. And by doing that, we give us both the opportunity to have this sweet adventure.
Yep. So I want to read through just some of the headings but there's a lot more here. We go step by step in detail, both on the giving and the receiving side of getting handsy. And so start out with hand jobs, really talking about the arc of arousal and understanding what's happening in your husband's body as you engage and what the signs of that are, what to expect, which can be super helpful in just knowing where you're at in the process.
Especially as you're growing and communicating, as you communicate more, you will feel more confident to communicate more. But in the beginning, maybe all you can do is like a little, or, whatever it is, like yes, or something really simple. So learning to pay attention to all the pieces is helpful.
Yeah. All important lube, right? Like the skin to skin contact in, repetitive motion leads to friction burns and calluses and other painful kind of things. Chafing
feels more reasonable. Chafing feels like an accident. Calluses we don't
want any of these things. And so proper technique and proper lubrication is really important.
I feel like we need some kind of alliterative saying that's like lubers for life or something.
We'll write that down.
We'll put it on the whiteboard. We'll see if we think of it. If you have any other idea sayings that's alliterative with L, I would love to hear those.
Merciful. I can't wait to see the comments on that. Yeah, different lubes for different seasons, different, activities, different settings. Yeah. So we get into all the details around the different kinds of lubes.
Flavored lubes.
The kinds you want, kinds you don't. Pressure, pace, rhythm, kind of different styles of engaging. I love that we got the the fire starter, twist and shout, basket weave, doorknob, anvil milking, the cock ring, all the things they covered in Sunday school. We
really don't think those should be covered in kids' Sunday school,
That's
for the
probably
record.
True. I don't. Cock ring is probably not appropriate.
Adult Sunday school?
Adult Sunday school, on the other hand,
That could be
that
fun.
could be a thing.
Just have a small group.
If
what
you're
we're
a
doing these
pastor
days.
watching this and you would use our adult Sunday school curriculum around sexuality, please leave that in the comments.
Yeah, right.
And we'll get right on putting that together. After climax, and then finger banging, setting the stage, lube is love.
Lube is love.
Lube is love. See, that's good, right?
It just still doesn't quite encompass what I want to portray.
Yeah, techniques to try and exploring the exterior. Classic circle, up and down, side to side, gentle tap, the peach pinch, pressure play.
Peach pinch.
Come hither, you know.
Yeah, I do know.
And if you'd like to know, pick up a copy of the book. We'll go into detail. So I'm reading through these just to give you the preview because there's way too much material for us to cover in this episode. But what I want you to know is that it is valid to have questions about, what are the mechanics?
Oh my gosh.
How are you supposed to know?
And no shame. Like the purpose is to learn together. The purpose is for communication and intimacy and friendship and laughter and growing safety with one another. Like that's actually how God designed it. So don't feel like you need to come in with some kind of competence. Come in with the understanding mutually that neither of you have competence and you get to discover being an expert together.
And even if you think you have competence, you don't. Now, honestly, most women don't struggle with this as much in my experience, and I have spent thousands of hours working with couples. And so I got a little bit of experience to speak from. I can't think of any gals that I've worked with that come in with the overconfidence kind of problem.
Oh man, I'm the best. Nobody can give a hand job like me.
We talked about it in the oral sex. They said it's common for men to navigate their insecurity in one of two ditches. Either they overcompensate, where they try to educate themselves in the locker room or in YouTube or in pornography or in other kinds of distorted settings. And try to be the expert on sex. And they come in and they are not learners. There's not humility. They're not listening. They're not attuning. They think they already know. They're knowers, not learners. And that makes for a bad sex life.
Yeah.
And then on the other ditch, you have avoiders in there. And so the avoiders, they feel like, I don't want to be bad at this, so I'm just going to avoid it kind of altogether.
Yeah.
And they tend to be lazy lovers, and that they don't put in the effort to learn and to develop and to really attune and create something rich and vibrant for both. It tends to be very lame sex that's brief, doesn't take into consideration her needs, and is...
And the sad part is it robs both parties.
Totally, right? So part of what we want to do in these chapters, in these sections, is really equip you as a woman to be able to have the conversation and the dialogue with your spouse in a way that helps equip and enrich the experience for both of you, right? Because it's a team effort. That's where we grow. That's where we have the very best sexual experience, is not as an individual performance where it's, my skills and, that's what makes this a great experience, or it's your skills, but instead it's a learning together and a building of a rich and vibrant sex life together that really makes it fun, which is exploring using our mouth, exploring using our hands, exploring using our genitals, exploring using toys, exploring maybe other ways of engaging. We'll talk about kind of positions in the next chapter. Later on, we'll talk about, what is kind of kinky, what does it mean to engage kind of kink, And, is it appropriate? Does it have a place? Is it something we might want to explore? But all of these things are about learning and exploring humbly together and really building something unique and custom that is our love life, your love life with your spouse, and evolving that over time in a way that keeps it fresh and keeps it fun and enjoyable. Like, this is the vision that Jesus has for your sex life.
Yeah,
it's not for it to get dull. It's not for it to be fearful, not for it to be a duty, not for it to be awkward.
Yeah.
Not for it to be something full of grief and loss and disconnection or pain. Like, he designed it to be good and rich and fun and getting better and better year after year.
Yeah.
And you have a role to play in that. Your husband has a role to play in it. You have a role to play in it.
Yeah. Take as much ownership. Take radical ownership. Take all the ownership you can. What we see happen is when one spouse takes ownership and leans into it, the other spouse responds, and it just becomes this engagement, like this really good cycle of, oh, that was good. Let's try something else. That was good. Oh, you liked that. I'll try something else. Like, good things build on each other and begin a flywheel.
Yep. We've seen it time and again. I've done some 13,000 hours of therapy, hundreds of couples that I've worked with. The Feeling Sexy book is a distillation of the things learned in all of that work, helping couples develop really robust and fun sex lives. And we want that for you. And we want that for you because we believe that your Creator wants that for you, that Jesus designed you to really enjoy sex and for it to bring you closer together and strengthen your relationship over the course of your lifetime. And we want to see that for you. We're cheering you on as you pursue these things. And it's a maturation process.
Right.
The road to happiness is maturity. In this process of healing and growing and stretching, like, these are the things that bring you into the fullness of life and continue to lead you down that path of ever unfolding from glory to glory, fullness of life, personally and in your marriage. So that's what the Road to Happiness podcast is all about. Hope that you are really enjoying kind of learning together with us. It's more fun when we learn together. So we're glad that you're here and invite you back. We look forward to being here with you next time and continuing to learn together. So until then, know that we're praying for you and that we're cheering you on as you mature into true happiness.